The Stoertebeker Atlantic Ale is an alcohol-free beer, and it really is a fantastic tasting beer. Stoertebeker first started in 1827, ran into some hardships throughout its 200-year history, from things like wars to a lack of resources. But in 2011, it actually saw a revival, and I'd say they've nailed it with this alcohol-free beer. So looks-wise, I really like the bottle. I'm a bit of a sucker for the old world style and the historical look, and I think they've nailed it. They've got a beautiful big old pirate ship on the front. The brand and name Stoertebeker and even the pirate ship actually come from a pirate named Klaus Stoertebeker, and he's actually from that region. He was a famous Baltic pirate, and that's what they've named the beer brand after. He's got a bit of a famous history. One of the stories, and it's a little bit graphic, so apologies about that. But one of the stories about this pirate is that he got caught, and as they were going to chop off his head, he said, "Look, I'll make a deal with you. The number of steps I can take after you chop off my head is the number of people from my crew that should be saved." And supposedly he took 11 steps after getting his head chopped off. Unfortunately, though, none of his crew were saved. But nevertheless, real cool story, quite like it. And that's what this company based their beer brand on, is this famous pirate. So, it's a bit of a cool little history that I like. The brewery is found in a town called Stralsund. That's on the edge of the Baltic Sea. So it's not quite the Atlantic, but I think the hops that they've used is from the Atlantic, so that's where kind of the Atlantic Ale idea comes from. It's just across the waters from Denmark and from Stockholm, so it has a lot of kind of medieval history and is very similar to those kind of towns. And the town itself has a 13th century town hall, which was probably around in the time of Klaus Stoertebeker, when he was being a pirate and causing mischief. Anyway, looks-wise, I think it's a really great bottle. When it's poured, it has really good head, irregular bubbles, good lacing. I've given it a 4.5 out of 5. So for aroma, I just can't fault it. It really is fresh, fruity, aromatic, lots of hoppiness. You can smell. I don't know if you can smell bitterness, but you can smell the bitterness, and look, it just looks and smells really tasty. Makes you really want to have a sip. So I've gone for a 4 out of 5. So far, really good. Great score. And as I always say, like, if it smells good, generally it tastes good. The flavor of the Atlantic Ale, it really does taste really, really good. So unlike some other of the alcohol-free beers I've tasted in the past that have smelt really good and had a bit of a lackluster like mouthfeel, this smells really good and tastes really good as well. So it's got a lot of bitterness, a lot of bite, but it has also got the sweetness to balance it out. But it's not too sweet, so it's not like a one and done kind of beer. So it has a little bit of a Pilsner taste to it, a little bit of IPA mixed in, very craft beer tasting, but with that kind of bite that a Pilsner has. So really is a really enjoyable drink. And as I say, the mouth feels really good. So it doesn't just go flat. It's not, once you've opened it, you have to drink it within the first 5 minutes. It's a beer that you can really enjoy over an afternoon, and I think it's a really tasty beer. So what I've actually given this beer is 8 out of 10. I think flavor-wise, there isn't much more that they could do to improve. It really is like a really good tasting alcohol-free beer. So well done to the Pirates. And finally, overall, so this beer is actually easy enough for me to purchase locally. Probably if you don't live in Germany, it might not be as simple, but I could definitely recommend it if you do happen to see it out and about to grab a bottle. For me, it's just at a local bottle store. I can grab a few. I can grab like a 6-pack or so when I'm out shopping, going off and grabbing some food. So it's also really well priced. For a 500ml bottle, it's €1.29. So really, really well priced for 500ml. I've given it therefore a 4 out of 5 for overall. Which means total, this is a really good scoring beer. It is 20.5 out of 25. I definitely put this in the fridge. This is one of my go-to beers right now. It's, as I say, tasty, bitter, sweet but not overpowering, and really good one for nice hot summer days like today. So give it a try. Let me know what you think, and thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Cheers. A lot of kind of IPA-ness, and